Claressa Shields goes off on her sister because her sister allegedly exposed how Claressa was moving mad at this funeral, y'all. Hey there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So, anything I say is alleged and in my very, very personal opinion. This is for entertainment purposes only. None of this is personal. The Copyright Act of 1976 is in the description box. Some meat and potatoes, some housekeeping items. So, today we are talking Claressa Shields, surprise, surprise, aka Pap's Mistress, aka Pap's Entanglement, aka Pap's Pick Me, aka Pap's Side Chick, or as Chris Cyborg would say, it is duck hunting season. Claressa Shields has completely lost the plot. Claressa Shields has completely lost her mind. You know what I'm saying? But this is who some of y'all be going up for. This is who some of y'all feel deserves awards, deserves all this positive recognition, that does all of the things. You know what I'm saying? But this is indefensible behavior. This is indefensible behavior. Now, I did a video that Claressa Shields had allegedly hired security to attempt to block Shalita from seeing her grandmother and pay her final respects. There seems to be some family issues in terms of who was supposed to pay for the funeral or how much people were supposed to pay for the funeral or whatever the case may be. I have nothing to do with that. I got nothing to do with that. It's not my family. You know what I'm saying? It's not my money. You know what I'm saying? It's not my situation. But apparently there's issues with that as well. But ultimately, we've got Bree's side as well, who basically was saying, you know, Claressa should let Shalita see her grandmother. That why do we need security? Why do we need all these people? It sounded like to me, Claressa was hoping that, you know, maybe Bree could start something with Shalita at the funeral, or hoping for something to pop off. And security just happens to be there. I don't know. The whole thing is very weird and bizarre. And you have Claressa then doing a live, crashing out again. I thought we were supposed to be focusing in on your upcoming fight in August, but again, Claressa Shields lives and thrives off of chaos and drama. She cannot function without there being chaos and drama. I just find it really disgusting and diabolical. You're doing this while Bree's kids are in the back, you know what I'm saying, in the background, can hear you talking about their mama like this. So apparently, Bree was supposed to go back with Claressa to Atlanta and did not. And I don't know if Claressa canceled her flight or rebooked her flight or whatever the case may be. Or if Bree simply wanted to stay in Flint longer, but then Bree's doing a live stream basically saying, listen, look at here, I didn't, you know what I'm saying? I didn't want to come up here in the first place without my kids. So this is one of the other things too. It sounds like Claressa was not willing to pay for Bree and the kids to come up to Flint for the funeral, but was fine paying for Bree. And then Claressa saying that, you know, Bree was jumping out of a moving car, but then Bree is saying that Claressa threw all of her stuff out of a car and wanted to put out there and brag and boast that she paid $1,300 to rebook her flight. And the sister basically was like, well, whatever money you're paying for a flight, just give it to me because apparently there's an issue with the car. And then Claressa is basically saying, listen, look at here, I pay for everything. I pay for the townhouse. I pay for the, you know, the X, Y, the Z, all the bills. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody told you to do your own oil change. And the sister's like, listen, look at here. Like, I don't care about all this money, all this shmoney that you like to throw in my face. And this is the problem with Claressa. And then Claressa wants to take zero accountability and wants to hit back and say, oh, this is why I've fallen out with my friends. This is why I have an issue with my family. And Shalita's not that close of a relative. No. Shalita's close enough that she's got all your tea. Shalita's close enough that mutual family and friends are very much aware of your shenanigans. You know what I'm saying? Like I hate when people do that when there's a falling out. Oh, we weren't that close anyways. Nah. You know what I'm saying? Why, if y'all are not close like that, you do the same thing that you did to Jaded Boxer, that you did to other people, that you try to block and financially hold over people's heads and your own family and friends, that if they allegedly talk to or deal with Shalita, you're going to cut them off. And that's the same thing that you did in this live stream about your sister. Telling your sister that you're threatening to cut her off and that she has one more time to do X, Y, and Z. No. So ultimately, Claressa, this is why I don't understand. You should be, if you want to help people, it should be out of the kindness of your heart. But if it is going to come with stipulations that they have to only do this, they can only use the money for this, they have to be loyal to the soil like this, then you shouldn't be helping nobody. Because you can't control what your family or friends that you help out do. You can't control it. Just because you're paying for the things, paying their bills, buying them stuff, it doesn't mean you have control on every aspect of their lives. And Brie basically was like, listen, look here, I'd rather take the Greyhound, you know what I'm saying, home, because that's another means of transportation than having to be tied to you, of you holding this $1,300 rebook, you know what I'm saying, for the flight. But this is all, to me, a hot mess express. This is all a hot mess express, but Claressa has nobody to blame but herself. And Neil, I believe she said gyrate. Gyrate is hilarious. It is absolutely hilarious to me. You know what I'm saying? But ultimately, she said that nobody's going to come up off of her in her family or her former friends. That none of them are going to be Brorilla. And that they're not going to make no more than $10 on a Facebook post. What? I don't think any of your family or friends are trying to become famous off of you. I think the problem is, Claressa, is you pick and choose when you want to acknowledge your family and friends. And your family and friends are sick of it. We do not have all the particulars. We do not know these people. These are not our relatives. But from what it sounds like to me, is when Claressa has nowhere else to go and nobody else to vouch for her, she uses her family, right? She uses her family and she uses the dwindling number of friends that she has left to try to make it seem that she's not this horrible person, that she's not this person that falls out with everybody. But we have seen how she treats everybody. We've seen it. We saw how she befriended, you know what I'm saying? Layla Ali was supposed to be her mentor, was supposed to help her through the ropes of women's boxing and all the things. And she misinterpreted and took offense to any type of comments or criticism Layla Ali made, and then went on a smear campaign. What was friends for years with Franchon Cruz, turned on her. Was friends with Alicia Baumgartner, turned on her. Was cool with Shadesha Green, turned on her. You know what I'm saying? Decided not to give those donations to the kids of the mother of four at the toy drive because she didn't like the mom, right? Fell out with multiple friends. You know what I'm saying? That have been exposing that Claressa likes to plot and scheme, alleged burner accounts, alleged smear campaigns, alleged hate trains, attacking content creators, allegedly under burner accounts, always responding in the comments, always on all these social media platforms, causing chaos. And so Neil, you want to be like, oh, nobody's going to be no Brorilla, nobody's going to come up off of me. They're not, they don't have to, Claressa, because your behavior and your actions are displaying that they're sick of your SHIT. That's what this all is. That you get on the internet one day and brag how much money you have and how you're going to an all-inclusive resort and all of this and all of that. Wow, the same said relative was in hospice the entire time, by the way. You know what I'm saying? You do all of that, want to brag about Aruba, doing all those live streams from Aruba, and everything else. Instead of enjoying your vacation, you wanted to have your camera out. Meanwhile, all HLL is breaking loose amongst your family and your former friends. And now, because what you were hoping to have pop off and go down at the funeral did not go the way that you wanted it to go, now you're mad at everybody. You're mad that your scheme got exposed. You're mad that your plot got exposed and that people were not rocking with it. Because ultimately, yes, there is drama, especially around funeral time with families. But the idea is when it is the wake, when it is the funeral, when it is the repast and all the things, y'all are supposed to come together. Y'all at least are supposed to put the differences aside to at least pay respect to the relative that is no longer with us. But Claressa's ego and her head has gotten so out of control that she thinks that she can treat everyone like a Sims character. That she can play puppet master and pick and choose when she wants to help out her family and friends financially, and they should have undying loyalty to her. And that's not how life works. That is not how life works. Because if people feel that you are treating them and they start to feel like they're a burden to you, they'd rather be broke. They'd rather be, you know what I'm saying, whatever the case may be. But it sucks because there's kids involved in this. And, you know what I'm saying, like, doing all of this, potentially threatening to, you know, what are you going to do? Kick her out the townhome? Kick her and the kids out of the townhome? And force her back to Michigan for good? Didn't Shalita predict this months ago? That there was going to be another falling out with the sister, and don't be surprised if she tries to kick her out or try, you know what I'm saying, to do all of this and do all that whenever she doesn't do what Claressa wants. But see, the difference between you and Glorilla, Claressa, is Glorilla had the sense to cut off Brorilla. You know what I'm saying? To cut off the family members that were associated with Brorilla's nonsense. Your problem is you actually need your family because there's not many people left, Claressa, who are rocking with you. So all these crash outs that you do, it gets to a point where your family is going to get sick of it and rather be broke, rather be homeless, rather be on the street, rather live in a car, than deal with you financially providing and then taking away at the drop of a hat, all because you care about who likes who agrees with your opinion, who disagrees with you. And if anybody is showing any type of support to Shalita or feeling that Shalita deserved to see the grandmother or whatever the case may be, you got a problem. Now all of a sudden, you got to find your own way back to Atlanta. You can't get back on this flight with me. I'm mad at you. I got to rebook this flight and pay $1,300 because I don't want to see you on this flight. No. That is your problem, Claressa. You are way too invested in trying to destroy other people once you fall out with them, but you never take accountability for your role in the fallout. You never take accountability or responsibility on the messy stuff that you do and say. You just expect that anybody that you help out financially is going to be loyal to you and can't have their own mind, can't have their own thoughts, can't have their own opinions, and that is not how life works. Especially when you have had these same falling outs with your family in the past. It gets to a point. And all of this foolishness, and you're supposed to be training for a fight. It's crazy. It's insane to me. But this is who some of y'all go up for. This is who y'all think deserves all these awards and recognition, talking about she got famous off of boxing. No, you got famous because you wanted to platform yourself with a married man. You got famous because Remy Ma Pap's wife exposed y'all. Let's really get into what it is. The reason that you are in the blogs every day like this is because of your entanglement with a married man and nothing else, Claressa. Your boxing matches come and go. The Zeus Network undercard has more motion than you fighting your coworker with 7 professional fights. Make it make sense. So, nonetheless, that is it for this video, you guys. I need to hear from y'all in the comments. I want to know what y'all think of the latest of Claressa in this nonsense. So, not only was there drama with Shalita in regards to this relative's funeral, but also, apparently, allegedly, there was issues with the sister as well, you guys. And apparently somebody got out of a moving car or stuff was thrown out of a moving car. But basically, she could not come back on the same flight as Claressa to get back to Atlanta and get back to her kids. So she has to find other means. There was another rebooked flight, but she's at the point she'd rather take, you know what I'm saying, the Greyhound or something else or other means, just so that she does not have to hear all of the things Claressa is going to hold over her head of all the ways she financially helps people. Just hot mess expression. But anyways, I need y'all to do me the biggest favor, and that is to hype the video, please. There is that. That is it. That is all. It's todos es final. It's finito. It's the end of the road. It's the end of the line for this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post the content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.